We're here at Next Adventure checking out their newest Hobie boat. You've already seen a segment with Seth West from Next Adventure. We were talking about the 2019 Pro Angler 12. This is the 2020, and I'm super excited about this, the 2020 Pro Angler 14. Now it's just a couple feet longer than the one that you just looked at and the one that we've talked about several times, one being mine as a 12-footer. This is just a little bit longer and slightly wider than the 12, isn't it?
It's about the same.
About the same? But in the 2020 Pro Angler, things have changed significantly. You're all familiar with the Mirage Drive. The newest one that came out was what they call the 180, where you can switch from forward and reverse. It really was a game changer. It made the boat very much more user-friendly in a lot of different situations. But now this is called, and you can see it on the front of the boat, the 360.
Yeah.
Why is it called the 360? The boats themselves are basically the same,
Yep.
but the system that propels it, the propulsion system, still a Mirage Drive, has been changed completely. Tell everybody about what the 360 means, and then you're gonna have to pull this thing out and show
Yeah,
it.
definitely. So the 360, the whole idea is now the fins on the bottom of the drive can literally be spun 360 degrees and just keep rotating. So that means instead of just forward and reverse like we had with the 180, you can go any direction.
So you can literally turn this thing sideways
Yep.
and give yourself thrust going
Exactly.
at a 90 degree.
Yep, full power thrust, every single direction, diagonal, sideways, backwards, diagonal, any way you want to go.
Okay, I want that to sink in, all right? Just imagine complete thrust. You got your same propulsion, but in a 360, you can go any direction you want. You can keep spinning and spinning and spinning if you want. You don't have to come back. For fishing purposes, especially on still water, in the rivers, of course, where you can give yourself propulsion from one side to the other as well as forward and back in different angles. From an angler's perspective, you spent a lot of time on the water chasing fish.
Yeah.
With the original, then the 180, and then now the 360. How much more does this make this boat more fishy?
Oh, it's insane. I mean, the really cool thing is, you know, think about, you've got your boat set up, you've got a fish finder over here, right?
Sure.
And you're sitting on a spot and you've marked some structure down below you see some fish down there, and a gust of wind comes and it blows you a little sideways.
Yeah.
Previously, you'd have to do a big circle,
Come
get back
back
around your spot, try and find it. Now with the 360, you literally just turn, drive sideways, take a couple pedal strokes, you're right back on top of that structure.
That's amazing.
Where you want to be, yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit, I haven't used this yet, but it really kind of reminds me of a bow mount trolling motor on a big boat, where you can have continuous propulsion from the bow, which is very much more bow forward, but in a complete 360, so you can control infinitely where your boat will stay. Now, I know this is going to be a lot for a lot of folks to understand until you come out to the Paddle Sports Center here at Next Adventure and actually see this. We're going to do the best we can. Go ahead and pop that out and show everybody kind of what the difference is. And we're going to show you, of course, how it actually functions, but you can see they're completely different. So this is not compatible with any of the older boats.
Right, yeah, so there's a gearing system in here, in the actual drive well, that makes these fins spin, basically. And to kind of make that work, Hobie had to modify the drive well a little bit to really make the system go. So, you know, if you've got an older Pro Angler, you're not going to be able to put this drive in there, but we do take trade-ins. So, you know, if you've got a 2018 or 2019, you're like, man, I'd really love that 360, bring it by, we'll see what we can do for you and get you out in one of these things.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, when you have a chance to actually use it, I can just see so many different advantages. We're going to give you a complete idea of how this actually works. We'll show you the rotation. It's got a really cool, would you call it a steering paddle, or what would you call it?
The steering system.
Okay, steering system. So it is a little bit different on that note. You're going to have to get a little bit of experience once you get in one of these things. But remember, at Next Adventure, here at the Paddle Sports Center, it's right at Scappoose Bay. If you wanted to come here and just test drive one of these things, just to see if you like it, maybe you own one already, like Seth had mentioned, and you're thinking about maybe trading one of the old ones in, or you've always been on the fence about buying one, you may have waited the right amount of time. This is something that now I can really say this. The Mirage Drive has always been a game changer anyway. This is a game changer of a game changer. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but it's something that you can actually experience here at Next Adventure. And again, only at the Paddle Sports Center, right on the water. Just set it up and they can get you dialed in on that note. But we're not done with Seth. This is still Christmas time. We're just a handful of days from Christmas. We're going to give you some ideas for yourself if you want to be selfish. Or if you have those folks in your family that own a Hobie and they want to get it accessorized, or maybe they didn't even know about some of the accessories that are available, we're going to show you that, and they have them all here for you at Next Adventure. So stick with us. We've got more segments with Seth West from Next Adventure here on Outdoor GPS.